I think that this is a video series I'm going to be filming until the day I die because I cannot seem, no matter what I do, to decrease the amount of series I'm in the middle of. I rewatched the first ever episode I did of this finishing every series I'm in the middle of, and at the time I was in the middle of 23 series, and I am now in the middle of 20 series. Even though I have finished so many series since the first episode, I've also started so many new series. I don't know why I do this to myself. Cheers to finishing every series I'm in the middle of. Maybe some of you guys could comment how many series you're in the middle of to make me feel better. Unless you're only in the middle of like 1 or 2 series, then maybe just don't say anything. First up, I want to start with finishing the Dreamland Billionaire series. I read the fine print a while ago. I really liked it, and I don't know why it's taking me this long to get back to this series. I have 2 books left, Terms and Conditions and Final Offer. I actually already started Terms and Conditions. Me and Danny went to see his parents for a weekend, and I was like, you know, I'll just bring this book along, read a little bit of it, and I got to page 250. Did not mean to get that far without filming any of my thoughts. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. Basically, this series, I think, has a really cool concept. It's a romance series that follows 3 brothers, and each brother stands to get an inheritance, but they have to do something to get their inheritance. And in Terms and Conditions, our main character has to get married and have a child before he can receive his inheritance, which is a little crazy. The only update I have to say is that I'm on page 300, and this is a slow burn. Emphasis on slow, which I really like slow burns. Also, I love when authors do like really cool chapter pages. I think it's just so fun. And then Declan gets a different, unique title page. Something that I love so much in books is when the characters have something that's like just for the 2 of them. Like if it's maybe a nickname that they call each other. In this book, the characters have a way of communicating, is I guess how I'll say it while trying to avoid spoilers, that's like just for the 2 of them, and it's so adorable. And yeah, it's just a really unique thing that I've never seen book couples do together before. The last step of my morning routine is, for about a month now, I've been using the Propolis Immune Support Throat Spray from Beekeeper's Natural. It's just a little daily throat spray. I use it right after I finish doing my makeup, so it's so easy to remember to use. And Beekeeper's Natural has kindly sponsored today's video. I was so excited when they sent this to me because I swear at least like once a year I get some kind of cold or little like seasonal sickness. So I think my immune system is really an area where I need support. So I'm glad that that's what this focuses on targeting. Propolis contains vitamins B, C, and D, as well as zinc and antioxidants. And very fun fact, I thought this was so interesting, is that bees actually use propolis to line the walls of their hives to keep germs out. And I really love that Beekeeper's Naturals uses science-backed ingredients, and they're third-party tested, which is so important, and everything is pesticide-free, which is great for us and for the bees. And then they also sent me a few other things. They sent me their brain fuel, which I've actually tried a few of these. I only have 1 left in this package. It's supposed to help you power through brain fog. And then lastly, they sent me their lozenges. These are great because they soothe dry and scratchy throats, but they also promote immune health at the same time. And you can check out Beekeeper's Naturals by going to the link in my description. They really prioritize creating clean products that are well tested and also being sustainable, protecting the bees. I think just have a great mission and great products. I finished Terms and Conditions. I really liked it. I'm gonna say 4.5 stars. As I mentioned, the first book, The Fine Print, I also liked. This one I gave 4 stars. I feel like this was a like, not a love. But then this one's a love. The thing I love the most is it just has so many great tropes. It's workplace romance, which is always so fun. And then the marriage of convenience, I really like. I think that's fun. It like really makes them forced to like be together. But the main thing I like about marriage of convenience is that it also puts them in like a fake dating kind of situation, because to the world, they have to show that their marriage is real. And I say this all the time, but I love fake dating so much. Just like all the touches and like it builds, you know, that chemistry, that tension, just leaves you wanting for the fake dating to turn real so bad. And then Declan is also one of those people that's very much like, I hate everyone but you kind of thing, which I'm just really a sucker for in fictional book boyfriends. Okay, time to put this one back and move on to Final Offer. And this one, our main character is Cal, who is the last and third brother, and he's the last one to do like his tasks to get his inheritance. And for his task, he has to return to his family's lake house where he used to spend every single summer. And he also has to sell the house. And it also says when he spent like summers at the lake house, that's where he met and like hung out with Lana, who was his childhood best friend and the only woman he ever loved. So I'm assuming they also have childhood friends to lovers and second chance romance. And then it says, it turns out Lana doesn't just live at the house, but she claims to own it too, which I assume is potentially going to put a huge wrench in his inheritance plans. This book has the funniest opening line. It really caught me off guard. It says, if I had known I was going to die tonight, I would have worn sexier underwear. Or at the very least, I would have dressed in something far nicer than mismatched pajamas riddled with holes and bleach stains. Like, what is going on? I'm so intrigued. I'm on page 46 and I am just loving the beginning so far. I feel like a lot of books, sometimes when you start it, it can move a little slow because they have to like, you know, give some backstory, have you get to know the characters. But this one, the opening scene literally jumps right into action, and not just any action, like something really interesting. And I wish I could tell you, but it's not on the synopsis, so I don't want to spoil anything. And it also has a trope that I really like, which I did not expect. I love when books have surprises, like something you didn't see coming. I also like that Lana, she seems like she's gonna be kind of like a firecracker, which I love in a female main character. Good morning. Danny and I are going on a trip tomorrow morning. I'm so excited. It's basically a mystery trip, so we have no idea where we're going. Our destination and our entire itinerary is in this packet, and we're instructed to open this packet the morning of our flight. So all we know is that our flight leaves tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. and then they gave us kind of like a rough idea to pack. That whole tangent is to say, I'm gonna pack Final Offer to read on the plane. I have no idea where we're going, so I don't know how long the flight will be, so we could literally be flying for 1 hour or 5 hours, I don't know. We do know that it's gonna be inside the US. Hopefully I'll get a good amount of reading done. Good morning. I just opened the packet and we're going to San Diego, which is so exciting. My guess was San Francisco, so I was really close. I haven't traveled to somewhere beachy in a long time, which I think is gonna be really fun. Now that I'm getting a little more into the book, some parts are moving a little slower for me, unfortunately, but I'm still really loving it, and I love Cal and Lana so much, and Cal is definitely a person who has a lot of personal demons. He struggles with addiction, so I'm so intrigued to see how his character is going to overcome all of these things and how their potential relationship is going to survive all of his personal demons. I'm back from the trip. It was literally so much fun. Anyway, I did so much reading. I think I got on the plane having read to page like 90, and I am now on page 426. I didn't expect to read that much. We had like a 3-hour flight there and back, so that was like 6 hours of reading, and then I also read at the hotel pool some. So I have like 150 pages left, I think. It always feels so bittersweet to get near the end of the last book in a series. Like, I'm excited to finish this book, but I also do not want it to be over. And this book especially, I'm very intrigued what the rest of the book is gonna be. I'm actually so scared that we're gonna have a like brutal, like heartbreaking conflict in these last 150 pages because Cal is an an addict, and I know that obviously can be such a tumultuous journey dealing with addiction and trying to go through the recovery process and get sober. And everything is going pretty well right now with Cal and Lana, but I'm just really scared that something bad is gonna happen. We've gotten to the third act conflict and my heart hurts. It's not as bad as I thought. I think it could have been way worse. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll get worse. I don't think so. We'll see. But yeah, it's tough out here. Being childhood friends with lovers and second chance romance, they have so much baggage from their past, which only makes the third act conflict hurt more. I'm literally only one page later. And the note, I won't say any more than that because spoilers, but the note, oh my god, I almost started crying. If you've read this book, I hope you know what I'm talking about. I just want them to be together so bad. And like, I literally know the book's gonna have a happy ending. I mean, I assume, but I'm still just like, how are we getting there? I finished Final Offer. For my rating, I think I'm gonna say 4.25 stars. I really liked it. I do feel like there were parts, like I said before, that moved a little slow for me. But yeah, overall, it's so good. I love that this one like does deal with a lot of depth. It's pretty rare, I think, that I read a book where the main character deals with addiction. So I just think that was a pretty unique read for me and had so much challenge that the couple had to overcome. So just seeing their whole journey, like, I don't know, I just feel so proud of them, especially Cal, for all that he overcame. And I don't know, I'm feeling very bittersweet to be done with this series. I definitely want to read more books by Lauren Asher. And I think my final ranking, I would say The Fine Print was my least favorite, then Final Offer second favorite, and then Terms and Conditions was my favorite. I liked this one so much. At the beginning of this month, I made a physical TBR, so I think for the next series, I want to pick a book that's on my physical TBR. And 6 of the books on my TBR are from series I'm in the middle of, so we've got lots of options. There's Ronin Rising, which would be great to read because this is the last book in a trilogy. Ruthless Vows would be fun because this is a new release. Then Twisted Hate. In the Weeds would be cute to read. This is a romance book set in spring. Then Juniper Hill. This is the second book in the Eden series. It's a small town. It's like a family of brothers and each brother gets their own book. Lastly, I don't own it, but I put on my physical TBR The Risk, which is a college romance. I think I'm gonna go with The Risk. I think every college romance I've read, I've given 4.5 or 5 stars, so I just feel like it's gonna be a hit. I'm pretty sure everyone in the entire world has known this except for me, but I didn't realize how many books are included in the Kindle Unlimited subscription. It's amazing. I just got a Kindle Unlimited subscription like 2 weeks ago. And The Risk is one of the free books with Kindle Unlimited, which is so exciting because I just ordered the book. It's coming in the mail tomorrow, but I don't have to wait for it. I can start reading it on my iPad for free. I honestly don't know if I know what the plot of this book is, but it's really fun to me to go into books blind, so I think I'm gonna do that with this one. It turns out this book is between Brenna and Jay Conley, who were in the first book, and I really like them, so I'm very excited. And it also has fake dating. All right, I'm on page 168, the start of chapter 18 in the physical book. Also, I want to update you guys on my thoughts so far. I'm really liking the book. I love Brenna specifically. She's so like fiery, speaks her mind. The only thing I'm not loving as much, or not loving, I just feel like this book isn't as unique maybe as some of Elle Kennedy's other books. Like in the first book in the series, The Chase, the book boyfriend, he's kind of like a nerd personality, but in like a hockey player body. And I thought that was just like really fun. And then I think her other series, the Off Campus series, some of the books had like some really unique tropes and plots. And this one I feel like just feels a little more typical of a like hockey romance. I think I'm just starting to realize with myself, since I've read just so many romance books at this point, anytime there's something just unique I've never read before, it makes me just extra love a book. But again, still loving it. Jake Conley is so attractive. Something I really like about this book is that Elle Kennedy really includes subplots that explore sexism, which I just appreciate. I think it's so important to talk about. Like in The Chase, our main character was dealing with a lot of sexism from a professor, and then in this book, Brenna is trying to get this internship and is just experiencing so much sexism in the interview process and just everything along the way. And Brenna really wants to be a sports journalist, which is something that is such a male-dominated field. There's this one quote that I just read and I was like, whoa, I didn't know something like this ever happened, but it says, "It required a Sports Illustrated reporter to file a lawsuit before a court finally ruled that banning female journalists from locker room interviews violated the 14th Amendment. And yet changing laws does nothing to change social attitudes." Good morning. I'm currently on page 302. I feel like I've been absolutely flying through this book. That's one thing I really love about college romances is I feel like they all have a similar tone, at least out of the college romances I've read, of being kind of like light and fun and spicy. Like, I don't know, sometimes I just love an easy read, just something you can fly through. And I cannot believe I did not mention this earlier, but Brenna, our main character, is the hockey coach's daughter, which honestly is something quite unique about this book. So they've been kind of like keeping their relationship secret. Like that is such a fun plot. They have like 90 pages left, so can definitely finish this book this morning, I think. I finished The Risk. I really liked it. I think I'm gonna say 4 stars. The only reason I'm not saying higher is just because I think there's other Elle Kennedy books that I've liked more. There are so many of her books that I still go back and reread. Like I still reread scenes from The Deal and The Score from the Off-Campus series. Anyway, I think I'm gonna pause in this series for now and switch to a different series just because there's still so many books I have left to read in this series, so it's not one that I could easily finish in this video. I also feel like with standalone romance series like this one, I don't mind at all like pausing and reading other books in the middle because they're standalone. A not standalone series that I would like to finish is the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I think I'm gonna start Ruin and Rising next. This is the last book in the trilogy, so I'll have finally completed it. I feel like it's gonna feel so satisfying to finish this book and be able to check this series off my list. Good morning. So far I have read to page 121 and I'm really liking this book. I loved the first book in the series, Shadow and Bone. And the second book I felt like kind of mixed on. I feel like it was a little more boring, but so far I'm really liking this third one, which I'm very happy about because I feel like it could have gone either way. If you haven't read the series and you don't know what it's about, it's basically we follow Alina and she's just kind of like your normal regular girl, and then she finds out in book 1 that she has this dormant power. So that's kind of like the base premise, and then we also have the Darkling who's the villain. I love the Darkling. Not like love him like he's a villain, but like I love him as a villain. He's one of my favorite villains. And then my 2 other favorite characters in the whole series is Genya and Nikolai. And then Alina, our main character, and then Mal is like the love interest. I honestly find Alina and Mal a little more boring, which kind of sucks since they're like more the main characters. I don't know, there's like nothing wrong with Alina and Mal, they just don't excite me very much. I just got to chapter 9. I'm on page 197, and I was fully expecting this book, I think, to be more like a war book, like lots of fighting, because obviously like the end of a fantasy, they've got to defeat the bad guy, but we don't really have that, at least yet in the book. We're more focusing, I think, on like the characters and conversations, and I'm surprisingly like really liking that, because I think I was like looking for like action going into this book, and I bet we'll get there eventually. But yeah, I don't know, this book is like making me really like all the characters a lot more, and especially by this point in the series, we know so many characters. I kind of forgot like how many characters we've met over the first 2 books. Also, Lucas says hi. Hello, it's a few days later and I'm currently on page 250, and literally so much is happening right now. I think we have fully delved into all of like the action, fighting. This is like kicking off, I think, for like an epic finale. And what just happened, I also did not expect at all. It caught me so off guard, which yeah, I just love anytime a book surprises me. Like that's the best feeling. And then I also got the audiobook. I have this huge, massive puzzle that I've been working on for, it feels like weeks at this point. So I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and try and keep working on my puzzle. I have been timing how long it's been taking me, and I'm 4 hours into working on the puzzle, and I feel like I have very limited progress so far. the work of about 30 minutes of puzzling. Also, I'm now in the middle of chapter 13. This book has the longest chapters ever. So long. Some of the chapters are like 20 pages, 30 pages. I think in the 30 minutes, I just listened to like one chapter, maybe 1.5 chapters. Anyway, I have about 2 hours left of the audiobook, and I'm actually gonna drive to my parents' house to visit them and spend the week with them. So I think that's gonna be perfect. I'm so glad I got the audiobook because I think I'm gonna be able to finish it on my drive over there. I finished Ruin and Rising. I really liked it. The ending did not see like a single second of it coming when I was in the car. There's this part in the audiobook. It was like some information that we got and I was like, jaw on the floor, so shocked. I wish I was able to film my reaction to that moment because I was so surprised. And I definitely ended up liking Mal and Alina more by the end, especially liking their relationship more. I think I would give this book 4.25 stars. I liked this one a lot. I would say overall it's like a 4-star series to me. I like it, not in one of my like top romantasy series of all time. We made some decent progress on my list. I can now delete the Dreamland Billionaire series and the Shadow and Bone trilogy. And then I obviously didn't finish the Briar U series, but knocked one book off that list. So I'm now in the middle of 18 series, which is much better than 20. And I definitely want to make it a priority to ideally not start any new series until I get this list down. But if I do start a new series, then I feel like I have to set the rule for myself that I have to read it all the way through. I've got to finish it so it doesn't get put on this list of another series that I am partway through. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys still like me doing this video series of finishing every series I'm in the middle of, or if you're like, okay, Ali, you have done enough of them, we get it. I love filming this series, but definitely want to make what you guys want to see. All right, and with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.